Welcome back, Alphas. The Carrack has taken over our favorite YouTube channels the past couple of weeks, and a lot has already been said. What are we going to cover in this video? Well, we'll talk about some things that got cut from Star Citizen 3.9, and what we are getting in the patch to help enhance our Multicrew gameplay experience. So to save you and your org mates time, I'll be summarizing what I've learned from inside Star Citizen and Star Citizen Live, as well as from personally testing the Carrack. Maybe I'll even give a couple of shout-outs to other channels that help to provide some insight. So hold orbit. I've been able to fly my Carrack a few times now, and test some things out for you while working on this video. And let me say, it involved a lot of time. Rough guess, about 8+ hours of gameplay across 4 game sessions to get you footage of Multicrew Carrack stuffing. Let's just say there were challenges. Yeah, 50-minute insurance claim time, without going in the whole hundreds of credits to expedite. This got me thinking about the future of multi-crew gameplay on larger ships. To effectively crew a ship this size or larger in Star Citizen 3.9, we're going to need a plan. With Unified Friends List confirmed for patch 3.9 by Todd Pappy on SCL, it will be much easier to group up and crew a Carrack in the near future. We'll have one unified contacts list between the RSI website, the game client, and I believe Spectrum. And we will no longer have to close the game after adding someone to contacts. You know, like to make them light up as though they're online. So it's like a big boy game platform now. And we'll have a pop-up window with our contacts list, think kind of like Steam. And it's going to be synced instantly with the game. All the people rejoice. Now, we just need CIG to get the server frame rates up where they want them to be so that they can raise the player server cap, because it's still going to be capped at 50 players per server in 3.9, according to Todd Pappy. But regardless of player cap, as CIG releases bigger and bigger ships, or lets us battle an even bigger ship, like the Idris mission that's coming with 3.9, we're going to need to be able to group up more effectively than we can today. Because the Carrack is so big, with so many stations for future gameplay, she's gonna take 8 to 10 people to fully crew her. I saw this very insightful video by DG360 the other day on how many people a ship like this would need if it were an actual naval vessel. And Too Long Didn't Watch assigned 2 players per bunk, and they take it in shifts. And each is assigned a role if combat occurs, you know, based on who's on duty and who's not on duty. But you should check out that video sometime and then learn how you can apply these ideas on how long-term use solo ships and subs in the US Navy already assign their crew stations. It could give you some insight. I'll put links up in the description for all these shoutouts, by the way. What I've found is that flying other large vessels solo, like the Connie or the 600i, it's no problem. But solo Carrack? Maybe it's my inexperience, but that got me blown up before I even knew what was going on. No! No, they're trying to EMP me! No! EMP! I just coming out of Lipsky, bro. I'm getting EMP'd. No, I'm getting attacked!
Oh no! Like, your ship?
Yes, power on! Carrack, no! This is the oh, no, spaceship. This is why it's so hard to create videos. I got EMP'd. Or was it a Mantis and pals? I don't know, but I got blown up. And I tend to invest my time these days into making videos instead of practicing and grinding wreck. So he got the drop on me and dropped me. So unless you're cool with 50-minute cooldowns to respawn your Carrack, find a crew, find a job, and keep flying. Solo Carrack not recommended. Bed logouts have worked pretty well for me so far. Log out in the infirmary, wake up in the crew quarters. Acting as a mobile home in the verse, the Carrack, like many other sizable vessels, has a mess hall, which hadn't mattered at all until now. With patch 3.9 and the player status system, we'll be playing light survival mechanics, like the need to eat and drink infrequently, and to prevent hypothermia and hyperthermia. So we'll be able to visit the food courts of stations and bars to stock up, and then we can come back to the ship and place our groceries down in the mess or kitchenette of our habs. And there will be things like granola bars, Todd Pappy said, that you'll unwrap and then eat in a few bites, burgers that we can eat way too quickly, and we can expect more diverse foods and eating animations to come in the future. Unfortunately, there's no working vending machines in patch 3.9. Don't start planning how many Big Benny's machines can you fit in a Carrack just yet. Working vending machines will come later, according to Todd Pappy. At least now, you can be like Commander Trip Tucker, and you can finally have dinner with the captain, in the captain's mess. That's for Star Trek fans. Also, a good routine would be to make it where each crew member has to stop by the infirmary and set their ICU before they go take their station. And in case you haven't heard and you haven't seen it, you no longer have to lie down to set your ICU. You can simply walk over to the right of the quarantined med bed, and then you'll see a placeholder screen. Then, if someone dies close enough to the Carrack, they'll respawn in their ICU in the infirmary of your ship. It's been great for bunker missions and player-made events, I gotta say. My org mates decided to also test the healing ability of the Carrack's medbed.
That's good.
They shot me in a non-lethal way, for science. The medbed pulled me in like an MRI and healed me up, and it was without so much of a scar. Wait, does scarred trust in org mates count?
Oh, that is cool. Space!
With my new experience, when I think about the ideal number of players for a large vessel, like the Carrack, I think we'd also need to think about how many players it would take to crew the support vehicles. You'd need someone to pilot the Pisces in the hangar, plus people to crew the vehicles in the ship's garage. And you'd still need 3 or more people to man the Carrack while the others are on away missions. So the question becomes, what fits in the garage? And when I consider what fits in a ship, I believe there are 2 viable answers. What fits for shipping transport and what fits for operational use, which is probably what I would use more. This means I'm ruling out all the ways to cram vehicles atop each other or where they're not accessible or removable. For shipping transport, fit as many as you can fit and still be able to drive them or fly them out one by one, opening up the path to the driver's seat or cockpit of the next one. Now, this is not quick to unload. For operational use, you'll want to load your vehicle bay by parking like you're from Texas, and you'll back your vehicles into their parking spots, of course, when you have the time. That way, when time is of the essence, let's say you're combating an NPC named Chip Talladega, and you can come at Chip like a spider monkey. By the way, don't park vehicles on the ramp. They bounce around when you move and can cause explosions in the vehicle bay, so not good. I don't think that ramps have a complete physics grid like the rest of the floors in ships, so avoid the temptation to park vehicles on the ramp for quick exit. Glitching through an opening ramp is not quick, nor spider monkey-like. Also, here's other things not to do. Don't stack vehicles. Don't block your walkways, or you can't get into or maybe out of the driver's seat. If you're blocked in, don't try to get out of the driver's seat. I got eaten by my Grey Cat PTV twice. I got stuck in the steering wheel. It was like a bad transporter accident. We do not endorse or recommend trying to stuff the ballista into the vehicle bay. It will get stuck, and it's very challenging to get it free. So again, not spider monkey-like on the attack. There are some smaller ships that can squeeze into the vehicle bay, like in the garage. Let's say the Merlin, Archimedes, the M50, and the 85X, although most have to be shimmied into the bay. and they get caught on the ramp hydraulics, which makes it hard to come at Chip like a spider monkey when you need those support craft in combat. Yet here's what my orgmates and I found to be optimal. Reserve the hangar for support craft, and reserve the garage for ground vehicles. And you can see from the footage in this video, we were able to fit a rover and 2 cyclones ready to roll into a hot zone. We slid a dragonfly in there sideways just before the ramp, although launching out quickly takes practice. And in hindsight, a Nox would have been much better for the space. There's also room for some gray cab buggies. Before we gave up for the night, we stuffed 6 ground vehicles of varying shapes and sizes into the bay with a little extra room left. And that's not stacking anything on the ship's ramp. 2 Ursa rovers fit side by side, yet not end to end. Even rover plus cyclone end to end is no good, as something would definitely be on the ramp. Too risky. The vehicle garage of the Carrack is basically taller than the Valkyrie garage, but it isn't as deep. It actually holds more than you think it would at first glance. This was several hours of game work, coordinating players and meeting up to spawn vehicle after vehicle after vehicle. Now granted, once we get this down, it won't involve as much time, and we'll know exactly which vehicle fits where and how to park them Texan style in the vehicle bay. On Star Citizen Live, Todd Pappy said, vehicle within vehicle spawning will not be in 3.9. One day, CIG plans on giving us the ability to preload our support vehicles into our ship's loadout. For example, pull up your mobi-glass and set your vehicle loadout to include the Pisces and the rover. And then when you spawn the big ship, the support craft are already in it. However, we'll still have to manually add the extra vehicles, like beyond the first one of each type, if we want to maximize the space in our base of operations. Therefore, adding ship within ship spawning won't really save us a trip to an outpost. It's just going to save us a little time once we get there, because we won't have to load as many vehicles. And at least the Pisces would already be spawned into the hangar, and I hope that it allows us to choose which ship based on which ones fit. That would be cool. In the hangar, anything sized like an Aurora and smaller will fit. This means shorter in length and height. Anything fitting those dimensions that has the same or less wingspan of the Pisces will fit. I hope to see more small craft in the future, and I'm curious about the 100i. Snubcraft, they all fit. Even 2 Merlins fit if they face opposite directions. On Reddit, I saw that someone did park a ballista in the Carrack's hangar, and they tried to turn it into a missile boat. It's kind of cool. I haven't had a chance to pick up a Nox yet this quarter. Anyone tried stuffing a bunch of Nox into the hangar yet? How many was it? And has anyone tried flying the Nox into the cargo pods? Like down the catwalk. Does that work? I'll likely experiment more with maximizing the hangar space in the future. Like I said, 8+ hours just to work on the vehicle bay. But for a detailed systematic tutorial of what fits in the Carrack, including the hangar, and how I heard that you can shimmy ships into the vehicle garage, check out LawoftheWest on YouTube. He was very thorough and tried things that I haven't found time for yet. He even showed how you can drop a Buccaneer into the Carrack's hangar if you do it diagonally. I'll put a link in the description. And of course, there's always going to be new ideas. From what I've found and learned, to get the most out of our multi-crew gameplay in large ships, like the Carrack, we're going to need a plan of what vehicles to bring as support for the mission at hand, as well as who's in charge of what station or what support craft or vehicles. For larger ships, crewing them will take time, and it takes people. Adding support vehicles takes even more people and more time. Star Citizen 3.9 will give us ways to help save a little time and to find more people by unifying all of our contacts lists and make it easier for us to reach out when we're thinking about logging in. Sadly, though, we'll have to wait on ship within ship spawning in a future patch to help save even more time. And maybe if we can save enough time getting started and getting into the action, then more players would be willing to join up into a big group, right? Especially with survival mechanics giving us a little deeper gameplay. Big ships with more crew stations means more risk, and less those seats are filled. Be thinking of who could crew your biggest ships, because as a reminder, prison gameplay comes with Star Citizen 3.9, and you'll probably see an influx of players who will be grinding up their crime stats. Hopefully this video helped you to think a little deeper into your multi-crew ships and how you'll use them in 3.9. Being one of my longer videos, it involved like over 15 hours of my time to bring you some new content. So if you enjoyed it, please return the favor with a like and a share. Remember to sub, and be looking for me and my crew in 3.9 running bounty missions. She's bouncing. She's excited for me to walk up to her. She's so excited to see me. Spaceship. Spaceship.
Spaceship.
Oh, look. Oh! Woo! I just saw you fly by. That was great.
I think I almost got toasted.
By his,
that was
his
close.
yellow jacket. That was close. Look how excited she is to see me. Look, she's shaking. She's so excited.
She's trembling.
She is. It's been 5 years. Oh my gosh, she's huge.